100, 200
I
years?
started playing the lottery when it came to Florida, which was about 25 years ago. And it took me a few years to start developing some things that helped me win more often. And then eventually I won my first, my second, third, and here we are today. I've now won 7 lottery game grand prizes. That's one of the things that I try to tell people all the time. Do not buy quick picks. And I know there's people watching this right now that say, what do you mean don't buy quick picks? I always buy quick picks. Well, have you won yet? Now, if I'm going to make a statement like that, I need to be able to back it up. And here's what it is. Quick picks are, for those people that don't know, are a computer-generated set of numbers for the game that you bought the quick pick for. For instance, Powerball, one of the big multi-state games. The odds of winning Powerball are 1 in 175 million. So every time you buy a quick pick, your odds are always going to be 1 in 175 million, the worst they can be. But if you pick your own numbers and you play them consistently and you never change them, actually, every time you lose, your odds get a little bit better. Not a lot, but a little bit better for the next drawing. The very first jackpot I won was 2 weeks after my son was born. He's now 20. And it was for $10,000, and it was on a scratch ticket, and it was following what I had developed this method, which at that point I didn't even know I had a method.
How do you have a method with the scratchers?
Well, here's one of the things that I tell people. You know, I see people do this all the time. They go to the counter, you know, in the store, and there's the display of all the scratch tickets, and they say, let me see here. Well, let me have a couple of those, and oh, you got bingo. I like bingo. Let me have a few of those, and I like the colors on that ticket right there. Let me have a couple of those. Folks, that's one of the worst things in the world you can do. You might as well put on a blindfold, take a loaded gun, and try to hit the target. It's not going to happen. So here's what you do. One of the things I preach also is about setting a budget. Do not get what's called lottery fever. Do not spend grocery money. Do not spend rent money. Figure out what you can afford. So let's just say, for this example, your budget is $100. And my method works whether you've got a $10 budget or a $10,000 budget, it doesn't matter. But for this example, we'll say it's 100. Now, scratch tickets come in all denominations, $1, $3, $5, $10, $20. So if you take your money, if it's $100, you divide it by 10. So now you're going to buy 10 $10 tickets. Here's part of the method. Don't pick 10 tickets out of different games. Buy all 10 tickets in a row of the same game. If you do that, almost every single time you do it, there's going to be a winning ticket in there. Most of the times 2, and sometimes even 3 or 4 winning tickets in that stretch of 10 tickets in a row. You just increased your chances of winning. At that time, we were like everybody else. We were living paycheck to paycheck, and we had insurance. But as I said, I won that 2 weeks after my son was born, and the insurance doesn't cover all the medical bills, so we didn't know how we were going to pay the rest of the bills. And we were also living in an old house, and we had a leaky roof. And it's just like a scene in the movie. Every time it rained, we'd put the buckets out to catch the water. So when I won that first grand prize, the first thing I did was I paid off the hospital and I got our roof repaired. True. But you got to remember something. That was the first time I won. I didn't know what I was doing yet. I didn't even know I was developing a method yet. I didn't even realize that I had a method until my 4th win. Even though everybody else was still saying, oh, you're just a lucky guy, there's no such thing as a method. I'm saying, I've won 4 times. How can you say that's just luck? But when I won my 5th grand prize, now people started to say, okay, wait a minute here. Nobody can be that lucky. What's your secret? That was the big question I got. And ever since then, that's what this has all been about. Okay? The largest amount I've won was win number 5, and that was $842,000.
So that's enough to make a lot of people crazy.
Here's why you made a comment about sometimes winning the lottery ruins people. What happens is you get somebody who's never had that kind of money in their life, and they win this big, giant grand prize. What do? They go crazy. They start throwing parties and spending money on all kinds of stuff and buying fancy cars and whatever. Folks, if you are fortunate enough to win a grand prize, the very first thing you should do is seek financial help. Get a financial planner, an accountant, a lawyer. Make sure whoever you get is a reputable person with a good reputation, and then have them help you just decide what to do with that money. The first thing you should do is pay off all your bills, set up a future plan of investments and stuff to protect yourself for the rest of your life, and then you go out and buy the talking cars.
Okay. So
no offense against you or any other woman in the world, but I am married to the woman. Cassetta is not only my wife, but she's my best friend. She's been with me through thick and thin. And at first she had her doubts. She thought, are you really sure you know what you're doing here? And I said, no, I really don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm trying stuff to see if I can make something happen. And then, of course, as I kept improving and I kept winning more, she went right along with it. She's my best friend.
I love it. Now, when you were spending all this money, because how much in total? You've won a lot, but you've also spent a lot.
I knew the answer to that because I get that asked a lot now. You know, how much have you spent versus how much have you lost and how much have you won and so forth. You got to remember, again, the first 10, 15 years or so, I didn't know what I was doing. I was experimenting. I had no idea I was going to write a book. I mean, that was the farthest thing from my mind. So I never kept track of anything. You know, all I know is this, that I'm still able to play, I'm still winning, and I'm playing with lottery money, and I'm having fun doing it.